Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode. We are out there on the road. Basically, we always trying to get you value when it comes to whatever it is that you're doing in real estate. I'm your host, Evantz Saint-Gerard, and my special guest, I want him to introduce himself and what he does, who he is, and all his background that he can give us. Special guest, please introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Robert Intelisano, aka the Insurance Doctor, and I quarterback a team of high-level independent producers, and we handle all types of issues like homeowners insurance, life insurance, estate planning. We have a Medicaid, Medicare experts across the board. So whatever type of insurance the client needs, we have teams to handle it. And I should say, I got into the business. I was recruited in college at Lehigh University by Prudential. And Prudential, it's important because you know this, the difference between agents and brokers, depending what field you're in. So I started as an agent with Prudential, which is an employee of their company. And to quote the great Prince, I left and started partying since 1999 and opened my independent brokerage firm in 1999. So as a broker, I represent you and your clients, not an insurance company.
That's what I like to hear. You know, you get extra points anytime you mention Prince on my podcast, right?
Didn't know that, but that's what we do.
Now you know. All right, so let's get into it. Our topic that we want to discuss today was we're helping sellers basically what they need to know. So help us out. Sellers putting their house on the market, what do they need to know?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is you want to have a good broker that's handling it, that you're working with. So the first thing I think that you need to do is contact your current agent or broker who you have in your current homeowners and have a conversation with them. You want to ask them, is your coverage going to change? When you change your home, what about liability? Do I need to increase or decrease my liability? And what about are you going to move out before you close? And if you do, then you need a different type of policy, which can be called a vacant lot policy, which is actually more expensive than a traditional homeowners because there's different risks and perils like vandalism and flood, because if there's nobody there, you wouldn't even know there's a flood. So there are additional risks when there's an empty home, and it's a different type of policy, which many people don't know.
You know what? You bring up a lot of interesting points here. That's one of the purposes of us putting these podcasts together, just to help people understand there's a lot of things that are happening. You might think that this is happening to you and it's never happened before, but we're here to tell you it does happen a lot. We're here to give you the answers, and give you options of, here's how you maneuver if this happens, here's how you maneuver if this happens, and here's some other options. So give us some what's something that comes out often that you hear a lot of, and you're like, you know what, let me put this to bed right now. Here's how you handle this.
Yeah. Okay, it's interesting you mentioned the word maneuver, because if you do the proper steps in advance, usually you don't need any type of maneuvers. So, but I will give you some tips. So first of all, depends if you're going to upside, if you're going to have a lateral move, it's a different story whether you're going to upsize or downsize. But I found situations where people, like, mistakes would be, I thought my existing coverage would cover it, or why can't we do this? I put the same coverage on my existing house. You're living in a different region, you're living in a different area. There could be different risks. It's a whole different situation. You're moving down to Florida, most of the insurance carriers have pulled out of Florida. So if you have, let's say, Allstate, you can't keep Allstate because they're not in Florida. So there's a lot of things to look into. In other words, to have a transition. Other mistakes are having your current homeowner's policy, canceling it before you buy the new place. You want it before your closing, because closings can move. I don't have to tell you. So
Yes.
you want to have your new policy start date should be the same date as your closing. And if you change your closing, you need to change your new policy start date. Your old
Robert,
policy should not be.
Can I stop you for 1 second? Could you just repeat that last part over again? Because I want to make sure nobody misses this. 'Cause we have this happen too many times that I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. That last part. Do not go ahead.
Yeah, because how often does a closing get postponed? All the time. So it's very important to have your current policy in force. Okay, and the new policy, you want to have the same date as the closing. The new policy, the same date. So if you change your closing, you postpone it a week. You want to postpone the start date of your policy for a week. You want to start on the same day. And your current policy, you want to keep in place and either can't terminate it on the closing date, or I like to terminate the day after the closing date. If you're showing your house, there's additional risks. There's a lot more foot traffic going through there. So you may want to increase your liability. So there's so many factors. But having a good broker to give you these tips is really the most important thing. And we have a checklist to ensure smooth insurance a transition on the insurance side where there's a task, there's the timing, and then there are notes. Like, for example, you're moving to a different area 2 to 4 weeks in advance. You want to start looking at how much is the homeowner's insurance going to cost in this new area, totally different to where you may be living. So if you want to start that 2 to 4 weeks ahead of time and start looking at bundling discounts, start seeing what maybe your existing where you have your auto could also write the homeowners there. Those type of things need to be happen 2 to 4 weeks in advance. Also, you want to go 1 to 2 weeks in advance. You want to get your insurance taken care of. It's called a binder, binder, which is providing insurance proof to the lender 1 to 2 weeks before the closing, and a declaration page and a paid receipt. It's important to transition smoothly. So you don't want to have any gaps in coverage. You got to make sure the insurance is still in play. And also, if you're going to have a vacant home, it's a whole different ball games. You have to change the policy. It's a different policy if you're going to have a vacant home. And the difference really is 30 to 60 days. So a lot of policies, depending on what company you're with, and again, every company is different, but 30 to 60 days out, most companies will allow you to move out, let's say 30 days, and they may cover it for a certain time frame of 30 days. But again, you got to double check your policy.
You gave us a lot to think about. I guess the next question I'm going to ask is, how do they reach you to walk them through this process, wherever they're at in their real estate transaction?
Yeah, they can reach me either by email, rob@insurancedoctor.us, as in United, S as in States. They can go to my website, insurancedoctor.us, and punch in our intake form. They can call me at 917-359-3985, or they can call you, who has my information.
Yes, you can call me, your favorite realtor, ESG, Evantz Saint-Gerard. My phone number is 917-975-5985. As a New Yorker, I do talk way too fast, so I'll slow it down. 917-975-5985. You can find me on pretty much all the social media. That's Evantz Sells Homes. That's EVANTZ Sells Homes. And this video you'll probably see on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, pretty much all the big video platforms, and also on our websites. Where this is one of many videos that we're going to be doing. We're on the road, making sure we have enough information to give to you. So when you are ready to make that move, whatever it is, we're here for you. I'm Evantz Saint-Gerard. I want to say thank you, Robert, for being on the show. And for the rest of you, what are you guys waiting for? Pick up that phone. Give us a call. We're here to answer your questions and make sure we give you the options that you need for you to make that next move.